Hi everyone, this is Kurt with Axtreme-Guitar. Today I'm going to go over how to play the song Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. So right off the bat, we are looking at Norwegian Wood, and how does he do it? Well, first off, they're playing with a capo on the 2nd fret. We have it tuned standard tuning E, A, D, G, B, E. If you don't have a capo, then you can just play it open string like this, and it'll still work because it's based around the D chord. It's just that it's not going to work with the song because they're playing it on the 2nd fret capo here, so that would actually come out to be in the key of E. There is a technique in the way that John Lennon was playing this song. He would kind of bounce with his strumming technique, and that's the best way that I can describe it. It's a So I try to keep my hand moving, but as I'm doing the melody line, I'll kind of chomp into it. Now, I'm not specifically trying to get one string at a time, but the way that I'm doing it, I am emphasizing the one specific string. So what I typically will try to tell people who are newer to this is try not to get hung up on figuring out the melody line, because I remember when I first tried to do it, it was confusing. It wasn't too technical for me. It was just the confusion of doing all of that. It was weird. It's definitely going to take some time, but even if you're familiar with it, it's going to do some weird things with open string and fretting strings and so on back and forth in that melody. So if the melody line is too much right now, I would suggest just getting comfortable with strumming along, and you can do that with the D to the C add 9. So So I actually strummed that as if I were playing the melody line. So if you're not used to hammering on 2 strings, this is going to be exceptionally difficult, especially because you're hammering on with your pinky, which tends to be the weakest finger of all of them. So you want to try to get used to that. It might be a little uncomfortable when you're doing it at first. What I would suggest is if you can't quite hear that pinky, keep moving with the song so that you don't hold up other parts of the song that you could do, and come back to working on that hammer-on. After that point there, you're going to go to an open string, and I'm actually going to hit the 4th and 3rd string together. If you get the 2nd string too, that's okay. So you can thankfully not have to worry about just hitting one string to get that melody line. After the hammer-on, open, and then my pinky comes back over here on the D string, 4th fret. I'm coming over that because I'm hitting the open G string and coming over with my pinky to get the rest of that melody line. And so we've reached across to the D string on the 4th fret with the pinky, and at this point we do a quick little strum, and then we come over with the pointer finger on the D string, and I took my fingers off of the D just to show a little bit more clearly that my pointer finger's here. So I'm strumming the D string and the G string the G string is open. And so that's what you're doing, except you're going to do it with your pointer and pinky. Now again, that is 2nd fret D string with your pointer, and you're just picking those 2 strings. Now that's where it can get a little bit tricky. Like I was saying, I do that sort of chop. Now it might, from this perspective, look like I'm just partially strumming, but what I'm actually kind of doing is coming outward when I do it. So it's and it doesn't sound very impressive when I'm breaking it down like this, but that's how it would look. And now if we get that angle, and you can see my strumming pattern. So back to where we were before. So I'm not doing the chopping because I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing here. So you can't really see because my finger's in the way, but these 2 fingers are still in that D position. This one is over 1 string onto the D string on the 2nd fret, and I'm hitting both the fretted D string and the open G string. From here, you go D string, G string, and then pinky down on the D string 4th fret. So let's go back to so I go to the open D string. So and from here we're going to go to the C add 9. Now the C add 9 is a very easy one to jump right to from the D. I'm not going to put my pinky down on the E string for it. Typically a C add 9 could look like this, or it could be without your pinky. In this case, we're over here focusing on the lower strings of the chord. And so this is a bass walk down. As soon as I hit this, I go directly back to the D. I hit the 3rd fret on the A string, which is the 5th string. I go. So I'm hitting all the other strings, and then so if I play that slowly, I'll put it in an angle so that you can get a little bit more of my strumming hand. So I shorten that up just for video's sake. You got the general idea of the main riff, the most memorable part of the song. Now the 2nd half of the song, chorus, you go into that D minor. So that's how it would look going from that chorus section right back into the main riff. So I hope that was a helpful tutorial on how to play Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. This is just another installment of my Beatles series. If you have any requests for songs, go ahead and reach out to me. If there are any other requests that you might have, maybe there's a technique that you're wanting to learn, whatever the case might be, feel free to hit me up. And if you like the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you soon.